Good morning, everyone. Today is August 9th. I'm Corinne Braxton, and I am coming to you from sunny Bozeman, Montana today. And I'm going to check my computer now, my laptop, to see if we're transmitting. So hold on for a second. Sign in if you see if let's see if we can find ourselves. Okay, I think we're doing good there. Let's see now, get a few comments and people can find us. It takes, oh, hey, Lisa, good to see you. I know you're going to, oh, thanks for the hearts. You're so sweet to do that. I know you're trying to register for On Stage. You know, this November, Stampin' Up! Is having their, what we used to call conventions, but they're called On Stage. And we have not had one for 3 years. 2019 was the last time my team, some of my team girls and I went on a trip like this. And now, hopefully, God willing, it's all going to work that we can go to, we're going to go to Indianapolis. Hey, Linda, good to see you this morning too. So we're going to go to Indianapolis and also stop along the way and see my mom in Wisconsin. So I will tell you more about my mom who's in the hospital. She's getting out today, so she's doing pretty good now. Anyway, we are in the midst of celebration, 3 more weeks, and Stampin' Up! Did a wonderful thing last week. They announced that we have 10 more items that we can include. So things that are the $50 value are the silver and gold paper, the embossing folder timber. We're going to use that today. The embossing, the gingham one, and the seashells. And then we have some brand new dies. These are worth $100. Oh my goodness. I actually was going to work with this one today, the perched in a tree. This set of dies is amazing. But I lost it and I couldn't find it, but it was in my room. But then I found it, but I had already created something for today. But anyway, and I'm going to show you, these are the coolest things. This is one of the neatest dies I've ever used. That's a $100 value. Then we have one that's the Blessings of Home. Maybe, I bet a lot of you have this set. And those dies are called, what are they called? Flowers of Home. I've used this a lot. I like to cut out a white, a stack of white, and then I put it in the Stamparatus. I do this with the dies, and then I stamp it and color it in. And I've used that set a lot. The other one, the third one that they're using for celebration is it's a huge set. Hey, Jan, good to see you this morning. Are you registering after this? This is the daffodil. Maybe some of you have this one, or maybe you didn't. It was in the spring catalog last year, and now it is in our annual catalog. So it's really nice to have those additions. And that gold, actually, I will show you that gold. That gold and silver is spectacular. So we have 3 weeks left of celebration. Mini catalog goes on until December. Hey, Nancy, good morning to you. And we're in our annual catalog too. Let's see what I have marked here. Yes, the daffodil dies are in the annual, and so are the page 75, the Blessed Home set. Those are all in our catalog. I'm going to set those aside. And we are going to turn the cameras down. You're trying, Jan, good. It's a little bit, I got to register this morning at 9 o'clock. It was really about 9:10 because I was busy. But I got to register because I'm a Silver Elite. And so we got to register an hour ahead of time. But just hang in there. It'll happen because it takes a while. There's so many people around the world trying to register for this event. Okay, let's turn the camera down. Close your eyes. Oh, my tripod just adjusted on its own here. Okay, I get that over there. I won't be able to see as many. Okay, good. This is my little tool kit, and Corinne Braxton, and to order, of course, is Corinne's Crafts. That's Stamping Up, and I have, after the video is over with, I will take pictures, watermark, and all the information will be available to you. This is the set. This is the die set that is free with a $100 purchase. It is magnificent. These leaves are from the brushed gold. This gold is real sparkly, and it's from the one, it's in the annual catalog. It's with a rose gold, and it's little 6x6. I'll tell you what, literally, both of these, that paper is from the boughs of holly. It's like, it almost looks like an aspen tree. These aspen dies are wonderful. And I didn't even use the stamps. I didn't use the bird. I just die cut everything. Literally, these 2 cards took me 15 minutes. Very fun set. I would highly recommend it. If you don't have it, it's a good one. It's in the mini catalog. It is on... Today we're going to be working with the Gingham Cottage on page 59 and 58. And then the other one, the one that I just showed you, the Perched in a Tree, that bundle is on page 46. It's $53 for both, but you wouldn't want to do that. You would just want to buy the stamp and get the die free right now. It's only during this month. Those dies will continue, but then they'll be full price. So, okay, we are going to start today. We're going to do something really fun. I did not intend to do this. Actually, I had planned to do a whole project with this, but then I lost my things and I couldn't find them. So, this is what if you remember last spring, I did some cards like this that stand up like that. Well, I wasn't ready to do these again, but actually in my business group, we had a challenge, and I thought, well, I'll just create one, and so I did. And we are going to do 2 different pop-up stand cards today. This is what they look like when they're flat, and then they stand up like this. And they're not too hard. They're not easy, but they're, I would say, medium difficulty. And the directions are very good. We are going to start with the fall one first. We are going to be using, and I got the directions from this from Christy Falk. She lives in Indiana. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly. And she did a video on split coast stampers about a year ago with some different Christmas paper, but she had good directions, I thought. These are the papers that we're using today. The Gingham Cottage is a very large, very, very, very large bundle. It has like 4 sheets of each color pattern. And it has a large, so today we're going to be using this green, the small gingham, and then the large gingham. I love the black and white. I've used that with the Scotty dogs. Orange on the other side, pumpkin pie. And then we're using a little bit of rustic harvest and a little bit of boughs of holly. And so that's what we're using. And here we go. We're going to start with this and bring in our little goodies. I'm going to bring in my little envelope of all the things that I've done so far to get ready for this. And I'm going to set those right there. And hopefully you'll help me remember to not forget the envelope at the end. Okay, so I'm going to bring all my things in here. And I will have these measurements typed up, but you can certainly take a screenshot if you'd like. I'm going to get my scoreboard out and my Simply Scored board, and we're going to take a piece. This is a piece of, I'm going to back that lamp up a little bit, a piece of Mossy Meadow. It's 4 1/4 by 10 1/2. 10 1/2, not 11. So I chopped off a 1/2 inch. And then I'm going to score it. And I've marked this with my little tag markers on here that they come with the scoreboard. So we're going to do a 1/2 inch, 1 3/4, 3 3/4, and 5, right? Just like that. And that's all we're going to need that scoreboard for. But when I do these things, I like to use it because it just helps me reinforce things. And I can, if I'm doing 5 or 6 or 10 or 20, it works great. And then you're going to just fold everything up, give it a really, really good crease like this, good creases. And that's the key, a good crease. So you want to use your bone folder, just crease it up over and over and over. This one's been creased a lot. I even added some score tape right along there. I did that just to show you on this one. Quite often when I do these, I just use my Seal Plus. But if you're a little bit hesitant, then you should use your tear tape. It's a little bit more forgiving than Seal Plus. What we're going to do is make a box like this, perfectly square. And it's really easy if you fold it up. Do you see what I've just done? I've got the tape on there. And now I'm going to just take my pick tool. Hey, Patty, good to see you this morning. Good to see you. And I'm going to pull that off. When I use my take your pick tool, I start in the middle. A lot of people start in the ends, but it will work better if you, and then I'm going to just fold it in like this. So I'm folding it down and completely straight like that. And that will give me a perfect box. You just have to trust yourself a little bit on that. But you don't want to hold it in the air. You want to keep it flat and attach it like that. That's how easy that is. So the base is done. Now we have another part, and that is, oh, I actually should have put the designer paper on, but I was so eager to show you. Anyway, the other little piece is 3 by 5, and I scored it at a 1/2 inch and 1 3/4 like this. And I better put that designer paper on because otherwise this is not going to work. And I meant to put it on down here before I folded that up. It should have gone on there, so it's going to be tucked in. I'm going to have to now, but it's 4 by 4. It's very easy. I think I will just bring my cutter and chop off a little bit of this, maybe a 1/2 inch. Now you would not do that because you would put your designer paper on first. Don't do what I just did, unless you're doing a little sample. Maybe just a tiny bit more. I think I'll just, so it needed to be chopped off just a bit more. Here's my little mini desktop one. We'll just do that. Okay. Now that should fit on there, but just imagine that you don't have to do that, of course. Now I'm going to get my adhesive. I'm using my regular seal. Just putting that on. I need to get my little silicone mat handy. So this pumpkin harvest paper is so pretty, I think. It's got a black and espresso background. And this mossy green. This is what this is, mossy green. And I'm going to put another piece on here. And this is going to be 4 inches across by 1 3/4. And this is our little bottom piece. And we can use it like that or like that. On the other one, I did this one. So I think this time I am going to do just the opposite, just to give you a little, show you a little variety. And I'm going to fold it up like that so it can go on nice and straight. And there, that is how easy that is. Okay, now, next, we are going to attach this part of it. And this is the 3 by 5 piece. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some adhesive on here. And then I'm going to fold it up like this all the way to the top. And it's going to come down and meet down there. So I'm going to put my adhesive on. Just take some tear tape like this, and it's just like it says. You can tear it right off with your fingers, but then I like to, and you could tear that a little bit, but I'll just cut that because I like it to be straight. You always want to burnish it with your bone folder, your fingernail, and then pull it off like that. And I'm going to fold it down like that. And now I'm going to fold this card up, and I'm going to put this just nice and centered at the top, like that. And then it pulls down. Do you see that? It's pretty cool how it does. Whoops, it didn't attach. I better fold it, but I didn't press hard enough, I guess. There we go. I'll give it a good crease right there. Now we're going to pull that up, and now we can attach it. This is going to be like 2 boxes. Okay, and now we're going to just, I'm going to just attach this with some Seal Plus, and we're going to bring it down. And on this one, I like to, I don't press real hard in the beginning. Oops, there we go. There. We want it to be nice and straight, but we want it to be perfectly square too. Maybe it's up a little bit high. Let me see what's here. There we go. Now it's gonna be right. So I'm gonna flatten it completely out like that. And now it's 2 boxes. There we go. That was it. Good. We're almost done. So now we're gonna do our little decorating. And let's see what we have here. I have a bunch of pieces. I have these wonderful labels that we're gonna stamp on. These are from this set. It's called Fabulous Frames, and really are fabulous frames. But this is a little tiny label. Also, this is that Fabulous Frames is a standalone die in our catalog. So next we have a 2x3 white piece, and we are going to use, this is one of our free ones during celebration, the Timber. That's a 3D, and whenever you use the 3D, you always want to use your gray embossing plate. It's really a neat one. I like it a lot. Okay, so we're going to, this is 2x3 inches. I'm going to adhere that. Oops. See, it quite often it'll tear your embossing because it gets in there so deeply. So if you want to add, you can always add it here. You can add your adhesive right there. Pull off that little bit I tore. This is, so it's a 2x3 rectangle. Just going to put that on like that. And can you see that? I don't know if you can. There you go. Hey, Kathy, good morning. Good to see you today. You found us. You can always go back and watch the replay. So there's that. And then we're going to do our dies. And this set of dies, let me see if I can pull that out of here now. Oh, it's very, very large. So this is the stamp. On this one, we're not going to use the stamps. We're going to use the dies. On the Christmas one, we're going to use the stamps. So just the opposite. So these dies, there really are a lot of them. They cut out, you can stamp the wreath, cut it out, lots of leaves, 2 bows. And then there are also, the dies that I did use today are these. I'm going to show you these. One is, this one's a little wider. This one's a little skinnier. And I'm going to put those 2 on top of each other. I did a lot of experimenting. It wasn't, wasn't sure. I hadn't seen many videos on this. So I wasn't sure exactly how it was going to work. But I thought, so on this one, I used the designer paper from the Harvest set as the detailed, and the Mossy Meadow as the bottom. So I'll show you different examples. I already die cut these, so you don't have to see them. You don't have to watch me do that. But this is the detail. Do you see how nicely it is? Let me just pull up so you can see this. Do you see how it's very fine? And this one, you can even pull up. What happened to my take your pick tool? There it is. This one, you can even pull up these. You can even, pull each one up if you want. If you want to use this one as the top, you can do that. You can use the other one as the bottom. But anyway, that's one way. On this one, I did just the opposite. Oh, I think I already glued this one together. See, this one's together. This one is the embossing, the mossy on top, and the designer paper on the bottom. But we'll do just the opposite this time. So I'm going to put this together, and I'm just going to put a little bit of Tombow right around on that solid circle like that. Yeah, my voice is still hoarse. I do have my carpal tunnel surgery this Thursday, God willing. So, anyway, it's still a little hoarse from when I had COVID. My daughter-in-law, my poor daughter-in-law, Chrissy, and her family, she's in Missouri right now. Oh, I got some glue on my hands. Anytime you get adhesive, you get some of that Tombow, use some sanitizer. Rub it around. That takes that off. Better than just a wet wipe. Okay, that looks like I got that a little bit, I think. So those are the two different, anyway, my daughter-in-law is in Missouri. She went there for an anniversary party for her sister, like a 40th anniversary for her sister and her husband. And her sister got COVID, and my daughter-in-law was hanging around with them all week, and our grandson Jack, and now my daughter-in-law Chrissy is in Missouri with COVID. And she's hoping that their son doesn't get it, obviously. So they don't come back until this weekend, but I don't know if they'll be able to travel. Anyway, we're going to put this wreath on now. I'm almost a little hesitant to get that Tombow out again. Put a little bit of ring around that, like that. And I'm going to use my tweezers to pick it up. I do not want to take any chance with my hands. Oh, before I forget, though, I want to put the glitter on. We're going to use some washi tape. Stampin' Up! Has this. We haven't had washi tape for quite a few years. We have a green one, too. I don't know where it is. It's a pretty, like pear pizzazz, olive green. And it's really nice. I really like it a lot. It's fun to have it again. And the glitter it's on the Halloween page. But we're going to use it for this. It's going to be a grateful or a Thanksgiving type card. I'm going to try to cut this one even with the white. There we go. There we go. I'm going to press it down really well. And that's pretty cool, I think. And now we're going to do a little bit of stamping. And on the back, I stamped Happy Thanksgiving on this one. I'm going to do something different on the other tag. These tags are from I love this tag. I think it's beautiful. So I used a little combination of things today. This tag is from the Christmas lights. The Christmas lights. It's from this set of dies. That's called Brightest Glow and Christmas lights. It's a mega bundle. And this is the tag. They have some beautiful circles and tags, little ones and this side, medium ones. They're very nice. It's hard to see those in the catalog. Okay, let's do our stamping. And whoops, we've got some glue on we've got some Tombow on there. I'm gonna have to throw that paper away because we do not want to be touching that. Okay, there. Now let's do some stamping. Everything is getting crooked. Oh, yay. Hey, Lisa, you got registered. Good for you. Okay, we're going to do grateful on the front and blessing on the back. And the blessing is going to be, you are such a blessing. That's from Hello Harvest. So we're going to do those two. And we're going to do that in the mossy green. We're using all kinds of green colors today. Mossy green for this and garden green for the other. I have no green clothes. I was going to wear something today that was sort of matched what we were doing, but I have nothing in greens. Okay, you are such a blessing. This is going to go on the back. I'm going to put it up high so you can sign your name right there. And, you know, that's just, you don't need, these cards are great when you don't want to have a lot to write. You just want to sign your name kind of thing. And now we're going to do the grateful on this. We're going to do grateful. There we go. It's a little bit, let me try that. I'm going to get a little bit closer to it and try a different one. Let's try that again. See if I can. There. It's not perfect, but it's hard when I can't get my head over it. And you don't really want to see my hair. Let's see. We're going to put this on now. And I've got some holes here. They're sort of poked out. They're almost poked up. There we go. And this is going to be put up on dimensionals. So we're going to do that. Oh, I'm right at the end of my little dimensionals. So I've got 2 packages here, but we'll use these. So we're going to snip those edges. Always, you know, use every bit of them. This is some of the best parts, actually. And I'm going to just take that off. And that's going to go right over my wreath. Like that. Those holes are going to get covered up. I'm going to press that all down. And this is going to be on the back. You are such a blessing. And I'm just going to put that right up. Maybe I'll put it down here to cover up that little bit of glue. I think that's what I'll do. Just make sure it's straight. There, we'll do that. That hides that glue. That's right there. And there is our card. We need some enamels. Let me see if I can find those in my little envelope. They're maybe not in the envelope, but let's see here. Where do we have those enamels? Because I want to show you the coolest thing. Oh, here they are. I have them a little Ziploc bag, all organized to show you. So I have all these enamels, and I'm going to color them with my blends. And I'm just going to take, these are the, I love these. These are some of my favorites. They're in the annual glossy dot assortment. And these are the colors: grape, melon, mambo, yellow, daffodil, and I don't know if that's pool party or if it's, I think it's pool party. I'm not, maybe balmy blue. I'm not sure. It tells someplace in the book, I think. But I want to color these orange. I love the way there's glitter in them. And so what I'm going to do is leave them on the cardboard. I'm going to take, you always want to use a darker than you think you're going to need. And I'm using the dark Cajun craze, and the end that is the big end. And you want to use, don't use the tip, you want to use the side and just color them orange like this. That's how easy it is. Here, I've done many more than I need, but I've got lots of yellow. And that's how easy that is. And now we can take and put these on. I'm going to just, they dry almost immediately because they are alcohol ink. I'm going to put that on like that. Alcohol makes things dry fast. So there we go. Just like that. And our card is done. And I'm going to save those because with fall coming up, there'll be many more opportunities to use that pumpkin pie orange color. And there, our card is finished. It's nice and square. Look at that. And, oh, I think it's pretty nice. Here's the other one. This was the larger gingham. And this is the smaller, more of a checked almost. I love ginghams, but they're really fun. I think these are really good directions. They're better than the ones I did with the baseball card. I had a slightly different measurements. So there we go. And I'm going to put that aside and get this cleaned up. And I just want to remind you, those of you who are later watching on YouTube or Facebook, please click, follow, share, do all those things. Those help my page grow, and my YouTube channel is growing, and I'm not quite at 600 people, but I'm trying to get to 1,000. My grandchildren say, "Oh, Grandma, you have to get to 1,000." Anyway, I am working on it, and so please, if you would, ring that bell so you can subscribe. Next, we're going to do the Merry Christmas one, and this is, we're using again the stitched shapes. What are they called? Stylish shapes. Stylish shapes. They're wonderful. And okay, we've got something. Let's see what's here. We have our green base. Let's take out our pieces. And I'm going to set that one right there. Oh, I have two of them. I did one with the wreath that I die cut. And on this one, I used the glittery gems. And that pretty bow. Isn't that a gorgeous bow, I think? You can see the sparkle. So in the one we're going to make today, I'm going to do the stamping. So you'll see that instead of the, because you saw the die cutting on the other one. We're going to start with a 4 1/4 by 10 1/2 again. Remember, 10 1/2, not 11. Score down all of those lines just like we did before. And I already put some tear tape on, so we'll just pull that off. Oh, you're telling me, don't forget to put the designer paper on. I can almost hear you through the computer. Don't forget the designer paper. Okay, let's get that all out. And we have our small piece. It's 4 by 1 3/4. That's going to go on the bottom. And then we're going to put our larger piece, 4 by 4 DSP large, goes on the top. And this time I can use the whole thing. So I think this time we're going to use, I don't know, maybe this one. I think we'll just use that smaller one. And there we go. And we're going to put it on like that. And now you're going to see how easy this is. Take your pick tool. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it like that. I'm going to turn it under. And we're going to fold it up like that. So I'm going to take my tear tape off. Try to stay in the camera. And that's really a hard thing to do. Just stay in the frame of things. Hey, oh, thank you so much, Patty. Appreciate that. Now I'm going to just leave it like this. I'm going to fold it right up. Try not to worry if it's going to be straight, because it will if you do it that way. And there we have it, just like that. And now we can put our bottom on. This is the 1 3/4. This is from the that pretty holly leaves paper. This one is just, you can sort of, let's see if my light is, this one's just sort of like a red muted background. It's cherry cobbler and real red together with little polka dots. This one's the poinsettias. And I think we're going to use the poinsettias. So we're going to put some adhesive on that. Just like that. And we can just put this down like this. And that's how easy it is. Okay, let's put that aside. And now we're going to get out our smaller piece. This is the piece that's 3 by 5. I already scored it at 1/2 inch and 1 3/4. And I'm going to just put some, I'm going to put my, instead of putting tear tape, I'm going to put my plus on here. I'm just going to go real gently along the edge like that. Lift back on itself. And now I'm going to put this on. I'm going to tuck it down like that. And I'm going to fold that up. And I'm gonna get this, this is garden green. I'm gonna get that in the middle and lined up, and hopefully that's going to work. Oops, it did not. I didn't press in the right place. That's why not. Let's see what's here. Let me see if I can get that out of the way. Because see, the adhesive is down there. I'm going to have to press it right there. So it's, okay, now it's going to work. Because see, the adhesive is way down there. We're going to pull it down like this. And now we're going to pull this up. And I'm going to put a little adhesive right there. And I'm going to put that on with my plus. Fold it like that. And there we have that. 2 boxes. A popping standing card. So now we're going to put our background on. Again, we have a 2 by 3 and 2 inches by 3 inches. This really cool die, or not die, embossing folder is called Whimsical Woodland. And it's in our, you know, I don't know which catalog it's in. I don't know if it's in our mini catalog or if it's in our annual catalog. I think it's in the annual, but it's a 3D and it's wonderful. We have a couple of different ones too. There's a little half-size, pint-size embossing folder in the mini catalog, and it's different, and it looks like this. It's more storybook-like, but this one is wonderful. Don't know what page that's on. And so I think I'm going to use this one, and we're going to put that on. I'm actually going to put my tape right on my garden green because this embossing is so deep on these 3D embossing folders. So, hey, Jeannie, good to see you this morning. Oh, I'm glad you like that. There we go. Isn't that neat? Can you see how that's so pretty, isn't it? Okay. And now we're going to do our stamping. That's the bones of our card. We're going to set that up. And now we're going to do some stamping. I'm going to bring in my piercing mat. Piercing mat. Here we go. And because these are photopolymer stamps. So the, let me see what's here. All of these are photopolymer. I've got them on blocks already, but you can see here are some that I haven't used. And anytime we want to have anytime we're using photopolymer, we want to make sure that we are using our piercing mat, something. It could be a mouse pad, anything underneath. And so let's see we're going to need a couple things here. We have 2 stamps. One is and this is a distinctive. It's called distinctive stamp. And then this one is like a detailed one. So you're going to see what they both look like in just a second. The distinctive makes it look like it has variations in it. Okay, I'm going to take my grid paper away so you can see it, because you would probably stamp first and then you would die cut. But for the sake of a video, I'm going to do it this way. And I'm going to do it on my envelope first. I'm going to see if I can find an envelope. Let's just see what this looks like. We'll put it on this envelope right over here. And there, do you see that? Do you see how it's light and dark? It almost looks like I stamped off and did it 2 steps, but no, it has that variation built in it. So we're going to do this I'm going to zoom in just a little bit if I can. Well, I don't know if I can or not. There we go. Oh, hey, Lisa again. Very pretty. Okay, thank you. So we're going to put this on our circle like that. Pull it off. There it goes. And now we will stamp sort of like a branch underneath. I'm going to do that in espresso. And we're going to do that one on, first we'll do it on here, and then you'll see that. This is like just the twigs of the wreath, like that. And we're gonna do the same thing on this one. Pull it off, and there we go. And close that up. And on the inside, we want to stamp our Merry Christmas. We're going to do that right away. Oh, it's a beautiful stamp and die set. We're going to put Merry Christmas right in the middle. There we go. Oh, dear. Got a little smudge right there. Well, that's just the way. I don't know. I can fix most things, but I probably can't fix that. Anyway, we'll just have to go with it. And now we're going to stamp on one of these labels for the back. We're gonna, and these are in the catalog, in our mini catalog. They were in our, they're in the annual catalog now. They were in our catalog last year, and we hardly had time to use everything. There was so much. I was really glad they carried it over. So we're gonna stamp on the back. And I have two stamps here. Let's see, what did I do on the other one? Let's see, once these are from the, both of these are from the, one of my favorites. It's called Very Best Occasions. This is in the mini catalog. Wonderful set. I've sold a lot of them to a lot of my customers because I tend to use it. It has a great birthday. You see me, it has this wonderful one that says, with a little more sparkle and a little less stress, let's make this Christmas the very best. And then this one, may your days be happy, your heart be light, your Christmas merry, and your new year bright. Just a great set. Really nice thinking of you, comfort and love. Love you, miss you, love you, mean it. Like that one. That's cute. Okay, let's do, we'll do this one, I think. Give that a shot. And this one is a red rubber, so we don't really need to stamp it, but I'm not going to move it at this point. So when it has that red rubber, you don't need the mat underneath it. Okay, and that's going to go on the back. So let's put this together. Just have a few more pieces here. We're going to put this, we're going to put our wreath on here. Oh, you know what I could do? I could do a Merry Christmas on a label. That would be a good idea. Let me see once if I have some labels cut. Oh, that would be a good idea. I do here at the bottom of my envelope. I can do that. That would be better, I think. We'll do the Merry, or the tiny little Christmas. Let's see once if I can get my, find my red ink. There we go. Well, that's a good, I think we'll do that. It doesn't need this normally, but we'll do the same thing as we did before. Pop it up. And then we will put some dimensionals on that. And I'm just going to use up this little tiny bit. We're almost done with this one. Throw it away. I love those little strips. They're great. Just great. Okay, that'll be better. We're going to pop that up right on that Merry Christmas like that. Cover that up. I bet you were all telling me that, or thinking that, and I didn't know that. Okay, we're going to put some dimensionals on this, and just like that. Don't want it to smash. I use a lot of dimensionals, that's for sure. But I do not like it going through the post office machines and the rollers and getting all smashed down. I'd rather have lots of dimensionals. They don't cost very much. Okay. And I'm going to put it on like this. It's nice and straight. That's going to go on there. This is going to go on the back. Hey, Jan, good to see you. You got into on stage. Oh, good. Good. I'm so glad you did. Great. There's a little bit. All right, there. So this gift, now, you know, you can just, there's just enough room there to sign your name, or you can sign it down there too. But I could have stamped it up a little higher maybe. Now I just need to put on a wreath that I've die cut. I think this wreath is just spectacular. Look how detailed that is. Actually, there are 2 wreaths, and the other part of it is, I don't know, I didn't think it was necessary. I put them together and I didn't really like them. So what I'm going to do, it's really almost too big for a dimensional, even a tiny dimensional, but I'm going to take my glue dots, and I'm almost at the end. I'm going to take one. Whoop, it flew someplace. Take another one. That's funny. Take one. I'm going to take another one, 2, and take 3 of these, and I'm going to make a little ball with them. Just make them into a little ball like that. And I'm going to put it on right there. Do you see how tiny? Now it's almost going to act like a dimensional. I can just pull that off. It's going to act like a little dimensional, but it's not. You're not going to be able to see it. So I'm going to put that right there. Now, I could definitely could get this mess out of the way here. I could put my gems on these, and but I want to show you how to use the glaze. So these are red rhinestones, and you get how many? Oh, 220. They're very pretty, and I did use them on this card, and I made little clusters of 3. Little clusters of 3 like that. This one I put the bow in the top, hanging down from like that. But on this card, we're going to use this new glaze, and it comes in a package with black, white, and red. This is real red. It's Pearlized Enamel Effects Basics. I liked it. We used it in the Holly and Ivy class that I had a few weeks ago. Okay, I've got it all zoomed in, and I'm going to just show you how this is all going to work. So it dries quite fast too. Let's see if I have that. Maybe you can see that. Okay, I am going to put some right on those holes, but I'm going to do that last. I'm going to start here in the middle, and I'm just going to put little dabs of 3. It's almost faster than putting rhinestones on, but of course, the trick is you can't touch it for about an hour. And the neat thing too is, do you see the little peaks that I'm getting? They flatten out. You don't have those when it's dry. Okay, and then I'm going to put one right there. Whoop. Make it a little bigger. It's got a peak on it. It's got a peak on it. And it's really, really quite fun. Do you see that? Now, I am going to set that aside, and I want to show you another card that I did with the same thing. This one's dry, but you see, this one I touched. I hit it beat to see, but you see how it just flattens out and it's real smooth. You definitely do not want to touch it. You want to set it someplace. Now I set that other one in the windowsill. Anyway, so it looks like this when it's dry. And those are our cards for today. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. There we go. And remember, if you would just click, send hearts, likes, comments, share, anything you want. If you're on YouTube, there's a bell to hit that you can watch, subscribe, and share it too. I appreciate that. So let's turn the cameras up. That's it. And, oh, thank you so much, Lisa. Appreciate that. Appreciate that a lot. And, oh my goodness, what a few days this has been. I would really ask all of you to say some prayers for my mom. She's 95. She'll be 96 in November. And she had a wonderful weekend up to a point. She went to the cottage one day with my sisters and their families. And then the next day, my other sister who lives in Madison, Wisconsin, invited them all to come down for a day on the lake and a picnic and all that kind of stuff in Madison, Wisconsin. And they went down there, so about 120 miles. And my mom went into the bathroom and fell. She didn't take her walker in. She left her walker outside the door, and she fell and hit her forehead. They had to take her by ambulance to the hospital, and she's still in the hospital right now. She had 5 stitches on the inside and 18 across her forehead, not in her hair, but across the forehead. So she's really been suffering. She needs lots of prayers, and she's quite weak, and she'll probably get to go home later today. And she's been okay but she has to have nurses coming in and do assisted living. She lives independently normally, but she has to have assisted living for the next week or two until she gets a little stronger again. But she's basically been in bed for the last 3 days. And my sister Carla and my sister Kara have been with her day and night. And then my other sister, Chris, and her husband, they were the ones who were in the hospital with her. Oh, thank you so much, Martina. I appreciate that. Any prayers that you can send up would be great. And if you would just send healing vibes to me on Thursday, and that my surgeon would do a great job, Dr. Vinglas. I've had him for my rotator and for my other carpal tunnel. So hopefully this will go well. I'm hoping and praying it does. Because then in 2 weeks, I go to New Orleans for my leadership event. So that's what I have coming up. And no, she fell on Saturday. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me. I have no idea if I will be live next Tuesday or not. We'll just see. I'm hoping I will be. And I'll probably try to plan something ahead of time and do the cutting and the heavier things that need to be done. So hopefully if I'm feeling good, I will be able to do that. I'll let you know for sure. Alrighty, girls. Any other questions? Oh, catching a big fish, you are? Well, Jeannie, that sounds like a lot of fun. Have a wonderful day. It's beautiful here in Montana. It's going to get into the 90s. But you know what? We're getting some cool mornings in the 40s and 50s. So it's not far, and our fall will be upon us. So it's probably not too early to start those Christmas cards and those fall cards. Thank you, girls, for following along, and I will hope to see you next week. Bye-bye. Have a great week. Thanks.